Started. On.
We're on?
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live again with the People's Dietitian. I wanted to do a product demo video today. It's been a while. So Randy Strawson over at IronMind, if you may remember, he sent me one of those silver bullets, and I was commenting on the previous video that I really like this strap because it was rated for however many thousands of pounds, and we thought it would be good to do the Devon Laurent rotator lift with. So when Randy saw our video, he basically said, I have some products that would be even better for that. So he sent me the Endless Loopps. So the reason that it's better, we've got one of them hooked up here already, is because you're not bending down and getting all like this and then trying to stand up. You're not limited by your arm strength. You can really get in the best position for your height and your frame size and arm length and whatnot, and concentrate on the lift. So what we've done is just hook this up, loading pin, carabiner. I just knot it off enough to be good for my height. So the key to this lift, you want to keep your arm at 90 degrees. If you get up here in this locked position, so you can see if you're up here in this locked position, the weight is actually in the webbing at that point, and it's not pulling you open, it's just kind of setting in the webbing. But if you maintain that 90-degree position, then the weight will pull you over. And so again, the idea is you're training to stay out of a hook. So if the weight pulls you over, that's like being put in a hook. So if you're a top roller looking to train to stay out of a hook, this is a great exercise. And the length on this loop makes it ideal, especially for taller individuals. So I guess the take-home message is size does matter. So we're just going to do a quick demo here. You can see I've got this set up to where I can just start, arm at 90. All this pressure is going to be on my rotator. And just like Devin says, all you're doing is just trying to stand up, and that's a good lift. Good lift. If this was too much, it would just pop my hand over, and that's just like being put into a hook. So that kind of brings us to the next topic. It's a great segue, if you will. When we were at Nationals, we were talking to Stephen Green. He's a 220 arm wrestler out of Kansas City. He won the 220 right-handed title. And when he first started out, I remembered he was a really good top roller, and lately he's been using his hook more. So I was asking him what he did to bring it up, and he said he's really worked on getting his rotation stronger as far as putting people in a hook, not just trying to dive in, but actually rotate people in. So we got to thinking about that and how we could train that, and John and I realized that we really don't do a lot of training on that. So we put together a couple ideas. So you may recognize this. I think this is their IronMind's wrist reinforcer. I always get this and the heavy hammer confused. So one of the ways that you could train that hook rotation would be to start in the down position here and then come up. So that would definitely do it. But we thought there was maybe a better way to do it. So that's what we're going to go over. This is just IronMind Rolling Thunder handle. What we've done here is we've taken another one of those endless loops. The first step is you're just running it through the handle, and then you're just looping it through itself, okay? Then you're going to come through again here and suck that down like that, like so. And what you've done is essentially trapped it down on the bottom end. I put my fingers under to avoid any skin coming off. So now you've got this loop trapped on the bottom end, and now you're just going to hook it up to resistance. So we're just going to hook it up to some bands here and kind of stretch it out, if you will. Okay, so John, you probably want to be over there because we want to focus on this. So by creating this loop down here and trapping it, what you're doing is you're offloading the handle and putting all the pressure on the last two, and you're going to have to really rotate hard to come into a hook. So we'll just kind of show how this works. Back it up for just a little bit of resistance here. You can see this thing is trapped. It's not spinning up the handle. So that's great. You can certainly buy these thick handle type devices with bails and whatnot welded on, but with this method, you don't have to buy any new equipment. All you got to do is put your loop on and trap it where you want it. So you can see right here, if I let go, you can see how the handle just wants to pop that way. That's because all the pressure's down here. And so again, if you're trying to train that hook, you're just carving in like that with rotation. So again, if you want to do more of an isolator, you could just try to rotate it with your wrist, like you would, suck somebody in. Or if you want to go the full thing. But this is a great exercise to build that knifing, rotation pressure to put somebody in a hook. If you want to work more of a top roll angle, it's pretty simple. All you're going to do is flip it. Again, it's trapped here, and this would be more of that top rotation. So either way, but the loops provide a nice alternative to buying additional thick bar handles that have different loops welded on. So a very versatile product. The last thing we want to show with the loops would be kind of a row exercise, if you will. What we use this for is to train our fishtail move, or our low hand top roll, or the dip. You'll hear different arm wrestlers call it different things for sure. So basically what we're going to do here, let me put a little weight on here. Get rid of that. So the first, we're just going to hook it up, and then we'll just come on through, loop it through. Okay, so you can do a couple things here. I guess the first thing we need to do is explain what we're actually talking about for the non-arm wrestlers. If you're a top roller and you're looking to stay out of a hook, there's a move that's called the dip, or the fishtail, or the low hand top roll. And basically you're going to set up with your rotator locked and your wrist is dipped. So dipped. So they call it the fishtail because that bow there, if you will, resembles like a whale tail. So the idea is you're hitting into that hooker with that whale tail. So it's a back pressure generated move, and then your wrist, whenever you hit back, it's just going to come over like that, and then people think you have this amazing hand control and can just top roll through hookers. But in reality, if you set up right with that whale tail and hit, especially if you hit before them, you're just putting that right on their bottom two and coming through. So it's a very technical move. You have to have great timing, and you have to beat the hooker to the punch, so to speak. One of the hardest things that we found about learning how to do the move was getting the mechanics right. So we want to be very clear. This is not the move. You're not gripping up and then dropping that arm like that. The idea is the distance here and here and here all stays the same. So it's a row back. It's a row back. And we were having some difficulty doing that. So what we like the loops for is it's good practice just to get our mechanics down. So we would, set up on the table. We can show this. Set up like we're gonna set up for a fishtail. And it's rowing back. Rowing back. It is not this. You're not hitting into this and giving up your own wrist. It's this, rowing back. Because when you come back and that wrist pops like that, you've got him. If you watch Yanis Amelins, he's the ultimate master of it, in my opinion. You watch him set up with guys, you can tell if he's going to do it like a top roller. He'll set up knuckles high. With the hooker, if you watch his videos closely, he'll set up with that dipped, and he's just rowing back. So we love the strap here because it just really teaches that motion. Very valuable product. I've shown you 3 great things you can do with the Endless Loopps. Feel free to PM me or email me if you have any questions on them. As you may or may not know, I've never been shy about giving my opinion on products, especially Randy's. So hope you've enjoyed watching this and hope you've learned something, and we'll see you next time.